straight away in a history. So the history of this monument, it goes back to 1973. 1973, in the month of September, three gentlemen or three people, they were behind the construction of this stupa. Number one was a Morioka Sonin. Morioka Sonin, he was a great monk of a Japanese Buddhist organization called Nipponzan-Myōhōji. So Nipponzan-Myōhōji, that organization actually had been guided with one of the sect of a Buddhism, which is known as a Mahayana sect, or under Mahayana sect, in Japan, we have got one special sect called Nichiren sect. Nichiren sect. It's not a Jain Buddhism. I have heard some of you just discussing about Jain Buddhism, blah, blah, blah. Don't get confused with the Jain. It's a Nichiren sect. So that Nichiren sect in Japan emerged in 12th centuries. And so under the guidance of Nichiren sect, this movement called Nipponzan-Myōhōji, or this organization, was established in 1917, just before First World War. And the moment that organization was established, they had some fundamental objectives, behind the establishment of that organization called Nipponzan-Myōhōji. One of the fundamental objectives was to promote peace. Peace, humanity, loving kindness and compassion, but predominantly peace, to promote peace across the world by constructing 100 Peace Stupas, 100. But First World War happened, their campaign was halted, their campaign was stopped or disturbed or whatever you call that. And then after, by the time we came in Second World War, Japanese had a little bit of different mentality. They thought they would conquer the world, and this is how their campaign also was halted till Second World War. But Second World War taught Japanese people one fundamental lesson, like war would never ever be a solution to any problem. That's what they used to think before Second World War. They thought war would be a perfect solution to every problem. So that war taught them peace, humanity, loving kindness, compassion would be perfect solution to any problem. And this is how this organization has been becoming super active after Second World War till now. And right after Second World War, what happened was that organization built two Peace Stupas in Nagasaki and Hiroshima, those cities which were absolutely devastated with atomic bomb explosions at that time. And then since then till now, they have already built 80 Peace Stupas out of 100. And luckily in Nepal, we have got two Peace Stupas. One is right here in Pokhara, very close to us. Second one is in Lumbini, what you are going to see, I think, within a few days when you're going to go there. So I think those are the two Peace Stupas what we have. So likewise, now let me take you back to the history. 1973 September, Morioka Sonin from that organization, and Min Bahadur Gurung, who was a philanthropist as well as the first Deputy Defense Minister elected Deputy Defense Minister, who belonged to the same place which is known as Anadu Hill. Anadu, A-N-A-D-U, Anadu Hill. So he was a great philanthropist, politician, as well as a social worker. He decided to donate a land for the constructions. You can actually see the Happy statue right behind you. Can you see there, the Happy statue? So that statue belongs to the same gentleman. And then one lady was behind the construction of this stupa. That lady was Dharmasila Guruama. She was a nun from Pokhara. She actually brought a moral support. Land was donated by this gentleman. Entire responsibility of cost of construction was taken by Japanese Buddhist organization. So this is how, the constructions campaign began. The moment the construction, started beginning, something happened. Something unusual happened. The local administrative officers from Pokhara, they came here. Not only they stopped the constructions, they even vandalized or destroyed a little bit of the structures, because we used to have like a little dome. They used to make a dome right from the ground, like the dome out of mud and all that. And that dome was literally vandalized or destroyed, giving them so many hilarious reasons. I'm not going to just take you through those reasons. And then reconstruction didn't happen till 1992. In 1992, reconstruction happened. Why? Because we had a political transition in 1990 or 1991. From absolute monarchy to constitutional monarchy. So when we had a political transition at that time, then the Girja Prasad Koirala, elected elected Prime Minister, Girija Prasad Koirala. He flew from Kathmandu to inaugurate to initiate actually reconstruction in 1992. It took 9 years to complete the entire construction. So we have been having this monument since 2001 till now. It's been 25 years. So that's the history of this particular stupa. I hope you understand. Do you? All right. So now I'm going to take you through other dimensions of this particular spot, this highlight of Pokhara or Santi Stupa. So I'm going to take you through the architectural dimensions of this particular monument. I don't think I believe in telling you pagoda, because pagoda tends to be like more Hindu temple. It's a stupa architecture, don't get confused. I don't know, deliberately, intentionally or unconsciously, you try and see like Peace Pagoda, I would say Peace Stupa. So this stupa architecture has been profoundly used by Buddhist communities to try and commemorate 3 jewels of Buddhism: Buddha himself, Dhamma, Sangha, right? So in a Buddhist, this stupa architecture, we have got 5 structures. The first one is known as the foundation, plinth or foundation, and on the top of the foundations we have got dome, like a dome. And on the top of the dome, we have got hermica or cubical steps. And then after, we have got conical tiers. Conical tiers. You understand that? Conical tiers? The round line. Conical tiers. It's like an upside down cone, ice cream cone. Right? That's why it is called as a conical tiers. And then on the top, we have got pinnacle. So there are 5 structures. And if you go through those 5 structures are well conceived, well interpreted, well explained as 5 cosmic elements, which are absolutely inevitable for every living beings to live in this world, right? So the foundation is known as earth. The plinth or foundation is considered as an earth. Dome is considered as water. Hermica is considered as a fire, or cubical set considered as a fire. And conical tiers are considered as 12 spiritual realizations, and then we have a 13 one is the last ladder to be in pinnacle. Pinnacle is considered as nirvana or enlightenment. So this is how you can interpret stupa. And second way of interpreting stupa is the dome is considered as a mother's womb. Mother's womb. When a baby is born from mother's womb, he or she has to face 4 fundamental truths of Buddhism, noble truths. Those noble truths are well represented by 4 sides of cubical structure or hermica. So once you understand those 4 noble truths, so it's all about going through spiritual realizations. And then once you go through those spiritual realizations, somehow you will manage to be very close to nirvana or enlightenment. So this is how you actually interpret or explain this particular stupa architecture. That's the stupa architectural significance, and this monument also has got its own iconographic significance. If you decide to go on the top, on the top foundations, like a plinth there, and if you try and just circumambulate, as a clockwise from there, you actually see 4 statues of Buddha literally enshrined round the dome. 4 statues facing 4 directions: north, south, east. The one which is visible from here is facing east, this side, and we have got one in the west. So those 4 statues of Buddha actually represents the 4 significant events of life of Buddhas. And those events took place in 4 religious sites of Buddhist communities, which are known as 4 Meccas of Buddhist communities. 4 Meccas. Number 1 is Lumbini, where Buddha was born. Number 2 is Bodh Gaya, where Buddha had got enlightenment. And number 3 is the Sarnath, where Buddha gave his first sermon, teaching. And then the last one is Kusinagar, where Buddha had parinirvana. So those 4 statues actually, with a different iconographic significance, they all represent those 4 Meccas, 4 religious sites, significant religious sites of Buddhist communities actually. And apart from that, normally I think this this particular area also has been famous for its natural significance. If you happen to come here in a crystal clear day, the view of the Himalayas, especially the three mountain ranges, they are visible, like, I mean, magnificently. You can see those three ranges, wonderfully from here. In northwest, extreme northwest, we have got Dhaulagiri Himalaya mountain range. Right in the center, we have got Annapurna Himalaya mountain range. And in the northeast, we have got Manaslu Himalaya mountain range. It means you can actually see three mountains which are more than 8,000 meters. From here. So that's why, apart from that, the view of the Himalayas, you can actually see the lake, the aerial view of Phewa Lake as well as Pokhara. So this is what we call the natural significance, and this place also has been famous for its geographical significance. Geographical significance of this place is to have this place higher compared to Pokhara. Elevation, what you are having at the moment, 1150 meter, whereas the elevation of Pokhara is approximately 850 meter. That's the geographical significance, and this place also has got its religious as well as spiritual significance. The religious as well as spiritual significance of this place is to have relics of Buddha right in the main sanctum of the dome. Main sanctum of the dome, Sakyamuni Buddha. So I had a curious almost few years ago, and I happened to have a conversation with one of the Bhante, like a monk, a guy who is still beating a drum there inside a kind of a little monastery what they have there. So I had a curiosity, and I just kept on asking him, how come you guys managed to bring relics of Buddha? Buddha died 2,500 years ago. And he explained to me, like, they were given tiny part of relics, I mean as a tip, tiny tip, from Thailand. So you have to go through all these long lineages, the long legacies, like Buddha died and then initially 10 stupas were constructed, right? And then 9 stupas were excavated, one in a Ramgram hadn't been excavated, and out of those, I mean stupas which were excavated, and what happened was, King Asoka, he decided to build how many? 84,000, right? Stupas. And this is how some relics got landed in Thailand, and then now I think management, they managed to get something from there. So this is how, this area has been considered as, this site has been considered as to have religious as well as spiritual significance. I think, so that's all about the Peace Stupa. And if you just go through a little bit of engineering aspect, the height from the second plinth all the way up to the pinnacle, 115 feet. The circumference, diameter from the ground is 344 feet. The total area which is occupied by this special site is almost 24.7 rupees. 24.7 rupees. I think that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So, my request to you all, we don't have a time because we are supposed